Good afternoon, and welcome to the inaugural episode of CarePoints, our new podcast that covers the healthcare technology business. I'm Kenny Schiff, and I'm the Director of Analytics for Lone Star Communications, and I'm also the founder of CareSite, a software as a service analytics platform that's used by hospitals in the United States. This is the first in a series of podcasts that we'll be doing. We'll be talking to some of my collaborators at Lone Star, some of our business partners, some interesting people in the healthcare technology industry, and some of our customers. Today, I have Justin Bailey with me. Justin is the Director of R&D at Lone Star Communications. So Justin, why don't you say hello to the audience, and why don't you tell them what you do at Lone Star Communications?
Hey, Kenny, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. As Kenny said, I'm the Director of Research and Development for Lone Star Communications. On the research side, I'm tasked with evaluating new technologies as they come down. On the development side, we work on, right now, basically it's tying systems together because systems that are tied together are better together than they are separately.
So I've heard you talk about your grand theory, the grand unified theory of healthcare. And I know you're a lover of physics and science and all things geek. So why don't you tell the audience about your unified theory of healthcare?
Yeah, the grand unified theory of healthcare. So it's a little tongue-in-cheek ode to my previous love of physics and engineering, like you said. What it is it's looking at healthcare from not just from our perspective of the nurse call system, which is where Lone Star has played historically in the market, but actually looking at it in a much grander view. The other systems that we've never worked with in the hospital, and then outside of that, how you actually get to the hospital. So systems that may be in ambulances and other things. And then as you go through the hospital and you finish your stay and you head home, it would follow you back to your home place. So really, it's kind of the full continuum of the life cycle of a hospital visit.
So how does the grand unified theory of healthcare get put into practice? So when you're working with customers, how do you make it happen?
Basically what it is we have a process. It's well known in marketing that it's called jobs to be done. And what it does is it looks at the entire need, and that's whether it's a system, whether it's a product, whether it's just an ideology. And it looks at it from every stakeholder's perspective that's in the chain through the life cycle of the system. In our case, it would be system. So it's not just looking at it from the end user's perspective, but also from the life cycle support team and from procurement as an example. And what we do is we interview the customer and we get these stakeholders not usually together in a room because that'll turn into a different kind of a conversation, but we usually get them, like all the end users or a couple of key ones in the room, and we interview them and talk to them about these various steps throughout of what they're trying to do. And what you're trying to get to when you do that is the actual job to be done, not what technology you're doing to do the job, because the job itself never changes over time, but the technology does. And what it is meant to do is to keep from sticking extra technology or technology that doesn't really quite fit the need into something because it's cool, and it is cool, but really it just makes sure that you're solving what the problem is and nothing else.
So Justin, now that CareSite Analytics as a Service platform is part of the greater Lone Star Communications family, how does this fit into your grand unified theory of healthcare?
Well, Kenny, I would call it the dark matter in the whole thing. It really was what ties this all together and makes it possible. So in our line of work, we get asked all the time what we would recommend to do as far as programming and various other aspects of the system. And historically, we haven't had a great answer for that. But with CareSite, now we do. These hospitals, they know what's going on within their own four walls, and they can kind of tell where things are lagging or they're exceeding expectations, but they don't have a great way of looking at it across the entire health system of associated hospitals. And taking that out and zooming it out from planet to galaxy there is not a way to compare best practice across multiple health systems in the nation and actually in the world. So with CareSight, this gives us the ability to be able to do that.
So grabbing the data from all these systems together and providing them in a unified whole is going to allow us to really collaborate better with the hospitals to get the kind of outcomes that they want.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
So thanks, Justin, for joining me on my inaugural CarePoints podcast. And those of you watching, I encourage you to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll notify you when we're releasing new material. Well, thanks for listening today.